This is the story of a woman who was already famous before she ever set foot on an island, and what happened when South Korea's most decorated female sprinter became the most talked about contestant on Netflix's Singles Inferno Season 5. Kim Min-ji, track and field athlete, gold medalist, viral sensation, and now a mega influencer with over 1 million followers. If you watched Season 5, you know exactly who she is, and if you didn't, by the end of this video, you'll understand why she became the one everyone was watching. Kim Min-ji's story did not start with a Netflix casting call, and that's the first thing you need to understand about her. Born on April 5, 1996, in Gosan County, North Chungcheong Province, South Korea, she grew up as the middle child of 4 siblings with 2 older sisters. By the time she was 12 years old, she had already found her calling on a track, and she never left it. Chungbuk Sports High School came first, followed by a physical education degree from Changwon National University, which meant she wasn't just fast. She spent years understanding her sport at an academic level. Her events are the 400-meter sprint and the 400-meter hurdles, and at the time Singles Inferno Season 5 aired, she had been competing in those disciplines for 17 years. That number matters. 17 years means she had been running toward finish lines for more than half her life before a single camera crew ever pointed a lens at her face for entertainment. The part of Kim Min-ji's story that gets glossed over in dating show coverage is the part that actually defines her, and that's her record on the track. At 17 or 18 years old, she won the 400-meter hurdles at the 43rd Spring National Middle and High School Athletics Championships in 2014, which was not beginner's luck but early dominance from someone who had spent years training for exactly that moment. Then 2017 and 2018 arrived, and she swept both the 400-meter flat race and the hurdles at the National Sports Festival 2 years running, adding a first-place finish in the 4x400-meter relay at the 44th National Athletics Championships somewhere in between, gold medals at the National Sports Festival in 2014, 2017, 2018, and 2019, 4 of them across 6 years of competition at the highest domestic level. At the 100th National Sports Festival in October 2019, she set a personal best of 56.02 seconds in the 400 meters, the same year she joined Jincheon County as her representing team. That contract ran through 2023, and then in 2024, Hwaseong City Hall signed her on a 2-year deal, which signaled she wasn't treating her athletic career as something already behind her. Hwaseong City went further, appointing her as both a public relations ambassador and a social contribution ambassador, because they recognized that her public influence had grown into something that extended well beyond race results. July 2022 is when the trajectory of her public life shifted, and the reason is almost absurdly simple. A video of Kim Min-ji competing at a national athletics event spread online, and what caught people was that she wasn't wearing her usual athletic goggles, which meant her face was fully visible for the first time to an audience that had no idea who she was. The internet's response was immediate. Track and field goddess appeared. Goddess of athletics followed. Then came Karina of track field, a nickname born from her resemblance to the aespa member Karina, and suddenly a woman who had spent years defined entirely by her split times found herself discovered by a completely different audience. That October, she signed an exclusive management contract with Bonbu Entertainment, a company that handles athletes and sports personalities, and the timing was not coincidental. Her profile had shifted into new territory, and the people around her recognized it and moved accordingly. Between 2022 and 2025, Kim Min-ji built a media presence while continuing to compete, and she did it across some of South Korea's most watched platforms. The Chuseok Special Idol Star Championships came in 2022, followed by appearances on Knowing Bros and King of Masked Singer, 2 programs that Korean celebrities worked toward for years, not stages that open up easily. In 2023, she joined the SBS sports variety program Kick a Goal, also known as Shooting Stars, competing as a sprinter-type player for FC National Family, which kept her squarely in the public eye without pulling her away from athletics. TV Chosun's King of Survival, Tribal War added a physical competition credit in 2024, and then late 2025 brought Baseball Queen on Channel A, alongside Back to the Classic Gifa Cup 2025 and G-League appearances. None of this was accidental. By the time Singles Inferno Season 5 announced its cast, Kim Min-ji held the status of most famous person in the lineup before a single episode had aired, and that distinction shaped everything. How she entered the show, how viewers received her, and what happened to her career once the cameras stopped rolling. Late 2023 brought something that doesn't come up enough in conversations about her, and it's the detail that reframes everything you see in her singles Inferno footage: an Achilles tendon injury. For a sprinter and hurdler who had built 17 years of career around explosive speed off the blocks, an Achilles injury isn't just painful, it's an attack on the exact mechanism her sport runs on. The consequences showed up in competition. During her first season with Hwaseong City Hall in 2024, she was eliminated in the heats of the women's 400 meters at the KTFL National Corporate Track and Field Championships. And for someone with 4 National Sports Festival gold medals behind her, getting knocked out in the heats carries a weight that race results alone can't fully communicate. She was managing injury, she was navigating recovery while still competing at the highest domestic level. And then, in the middle of all of that, she walked onto an island for a Netflix dating show. The confidence viewers saw on screen, the boldness, the fire, existed alongside an athlete who already knew what it felt like to push through real physical pain, and that context changes the picture considerably. January 20th, 2026. That's when Singles Inferno Season 5 premiered on Netflix, bringing 24 contestants onto Inferno Island with Lee Da-hee, Cho Kyu-hyun, Hong Jin-kyung, Han Hai, and Dex hosting. Kim Min-gi entered as contestant number 11, carrying a self-description that was equal parts charming and strategically self-aware. She described herself as someone who looks cold on the outside but is really bubbly and cutesy, persistent when it came to getting someone she liked to open up. And she noted that she might be better than most male contestants when it comes to athletics, but that she'd try to hide that. Within hours of arriving on Inferno Island, she won the popularity vote from the male contestants, and selections for Paradise trips followed quickly with both Woo Sung-min and Song Seung-il. That's when the season's central drama locked into place. During the finale ceremony, Kim Min-gi stepped up first among the women, and Song Seung-il stepped forward as the only man who chose to leave with her. His words to her were, "Let's go eat something good." Her response came in the form of an acrostic poem built from the syllables of his name, Sung-il, landing on Sung-ri, meaning victory, and Il-daeong, meaning first place, which meant that even in the most romantic moment the show gave her, she framed it as winning. That's not performance. That's someone who spent 17 years as a competitive athlete expressing affection in the only language that felt completely natural to her. It was a beautiful ending to the season, and it was not the end of the story. The acrostic poem and the finale moment gave viewers a clean ending, but the reunion episode complicated it considerably. Kim Min-gi and Song Seung-il did not continue dating after filming wrapped. During the reunion, both revealed they had only kept in touch a little, and the description that landed was "close friends with a complicated dynamic," which anyone who watched the season understood wasn't a simple outcome. Her public response came through a written statement that read, "Hello, this is Kim Min-gi from Singles Inferno 5. As I watched the filmed scenes again, I was able to relive the emotions from that time. And by the end, I felt that my heart had found some closure." No performance in those words, no manufactured optimism, just someone processing something real and choosing to say so honestly, rather than wrapping it in something easier. One detail worth knowing. Before the show, she was already close friends with Lee Kwan-hee, a basketball player and Singles Inferno Season 3 alum, and during a Netflix Korea YouTube watch-along, he admitted he was shocked to see her on the show, that he was just worried about her, and that she deserved someone strong enough to take charge. It's a small piece of the picture, someone who knew her before any of this watched it all unfold from the outside, worried about his friend. What tends to follow women who go viral twice in 2 years is a certain kind of internet attention, and Kim Min-gi got that too. An old photo of her circulated online after the show, showing her looking noticeably different, and speculation about jaw surgery, chin surgery, and lower eyelid surgery followed immediately. She addressed it directly, confirmed the photo was of her, and stated clearly, "I really did not do surgery." Others pointed out that orthodontic work like braces during puberty can produce real changes in facial appearance over time, which offered a different explanation for the difference. The controversy itself reveals more about what happens to women once they become visible than it does about her, and her response was to answer the question once and move forward. 17 years of athletic competition, 4 national gold medals, a 17-year career, and the conversation a significant portion of the internet chose to have was about whether her face had changed. She answered. She moved on. Before Season 5 premiered, Kim Min-gi's Instagram account at @ARB0R_day already held 832,000 followers, making her the most followed female cast member going in. by a margin that reflected years of visibility built before any dating show entered the picture. By February 10, 2026, the date the final episode and reunion aired, that number had climbed past 1.16 million, and she had become the most followed cast member overall, overtaking Song Seung-il in the process. The most combined Instagram gains across the first 3 weeks post-premiere belonged to her, and even after the reunion wrapped the season, she held that top position. Her first post after crossing 1 million followers was sponsored content, which drew attention to something the Korean entertainment industry already understood well. Singles Inferno alumni convert visibility into commercial value quickly. Song Jia from Season 1 reportedly commanded advertising fees of 30 million Korean won per post, roughly $20,000. And while Kim Min-ji's specific rates remain unconfirmed publicly, the market tier that 1.16 million followers places someone in tells you something meaningful about where she's operating now.